Hey twin, thanks for clicking on this video. Your time, love, and support mean everything to me, and I'm truly grateful to be walking along this path with you. I realize I haven't been introducing myself, and that is because a lot of the times I just assume you know who I am. Just coming to mind, if you've ever seen Neon Joe Werewolf Hunter, in there, John Glazer, he plays, well, it's his, show. He's Neon Joe, and they're having a werewolf issue in the town, and they're having a town meeting, and he just like says, "Y'all know me," and then one of the townspeople in the back, Chris, he's like, "No, we don't." And he's like, "Well, you should know me." So it's like, I don't know, I just think about that. But basically, like, you can call me Sabrina, you can call me Patience, you can call me Mina. One of my sisters calls me Beaner. I really don't care. But I wanted to talk about how this morning I had the pre-move out inspection at the current rental before I move out on the 28th, and the property manager is newer. She's new. She got hired in like a few months ago, and the property manager that I was working with, he left sometime last year. I don't know. He just stopped responding to me, so that must have been what it was. But when I was showing her how there's missing blinds, which is illegal in the state of California on rentals, like all window coverings must be fully operational and covering the window. And I had brought it up to the previous property manager, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I noted the ones that are broken, so when you move out, we don't charge you." And I was like, okay, that was like the first red flag. Because that was like right when I moved in. I was like, "Hey, these blinds are broken." And he's like, "Yeah, I noted which ones they are." And I was like, oh gosh, okay. So me looking on the bright side, remaining in optimism, just choosing differently in the art gallery of life, I would just cover the window where there's a full slat broken, because there's a neighbor that he feels it's okay to try to peek in from time to time. And I've even caught him sitting next to my car on the floor while, completely crudo, drunk. And my kids were home, and we were gonna go out, and my oldest walks out. He's like, this dude is sitting by your car. And I walk out, and I'm like, why is bro sitting next to my car? Like, and I'm looking right at him, and he didn't say anything, but he saw my face, and I was just like, I have no idea what you're doing here. So he ended up getting up and walking away. And I saw him the other day, but I avoided, I saw him, but he didn't see me. I'm not scared of him or anything like that. If that fool tries anything, he's gonna get fucking cross-kicked. I'm like, go ahead and try me, because and then like it's just coming to me that like he's the sort of person that would find that attractive. Like, it's just weird, like the whole Amazonian woman kind of thing, because he is on the smaller side. He's shorter than I am, maybe about the same height, but he's smaller. And it's like, I could break that bitch in two, but he would probably like it. And that's just something that, like, you know, it's not that I'm okay with it, but that I have no fear, because I know that I'm leaving, and I know that I'm protected. I know that I'm supported by our friendly universe. So it's like these certain things coming up. So with the neighbor, and then the slumlord that is currently receiving money from me. Well, this was the last month. How when I had shown her that the floor, you know, the foundation's cracked in the living room and the kitchen, and all she did was pour glue in it. And then when I found out months later that the foundation is also cracked in the bedroom, and it's way more severe in the bedroom than it is in the living room. Literally, like, you're walking and you just feel like you're on the ocean. Like, the floor is just so wavy. And when I had shown it to her, she was like, oh, nobody said anything before. And I knew she was going to say that. I knew she was going to say, no one's ever said anything, you know, like, why are you making a big deal, basically. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's them, this is me, and I'm here to tell you that this needs to be addressed, so that when the next tenant moves in, they're not living like this. I go, but the whole reason why the roaches won't go away is because the foundation is cracked, and no matter what you do, no matter how many times you spray or what have you, they're always gonna come back, because they crawl up through the ground. And that's what I told the property manager. I told her everything that the property owner had said to me. And I mean, she was, you know, shocked at a lot of the things I was telling her, because when I had first moved in, I had all my walls decorated with all my stuff, all my Halloween things, and just different things that I've collected from different cultures. Like, I have a lot of Egyptian imagery, and I do like to put up my Lunar New Year animals. And when the property owner had first came over to address the floor in the living room, she looks around and she's like, oh, do you believe in Jesus? And I was looking at her and I was like, I love Jesus, but if you're asking me if I'm Christian, no. And she's like, oh. And then I'm, you know, just like time going on and finding out what's going on in the bedroom with the floor, and how she said she's not gonna do anything about it. It's just like, okay, do you seriously think, like, I remember growing up, middle school and high school, I think it was, people would wear those rubber band bracelets that says WWJD, what would Jesus do? And it's like, okay, would Jesus be charging almost $2,000 for roaches and a cracked foundation? Not to mention that the drywall behind the bathroom vanity is rotted out and she won't fix it. I told her about that too, and all she did was have the guy put caulking in between the vanity and the shower, because it's like maybe 1.25 inch space between the vanity and the shower surround. And all she did was have the guy just caulk it up. And she even asked him, she's like, oh, is this gonna stop it? And he's like, no, because there's moisture, because there's water. It's just caulking. Over time, the caulking is going to degrade and you're just going to see the rotted drywall again. But, you know, not my monkey, not my circus anymore. I've said what I had to say. And if it's not easy to fix, it's time to exit. Because you can't force others to change. You literally can't. The only thing you can control is yourself and your reaction to things, your reaction to what's going on around you. And, you know, it's a lot of what you react to, you're gonna keep seeing. But that's where discernment, picking your battles, comes into play, where it's like, because that's what I was speaking about in my most recent video was bygones and clearing the slate and things like that. And I didn't quite finish that thought. 1111 Think Universe. So with this whole, like, all the Epstein files and everything, and I mean, years and years and years ago, it was exposed in Canada that there was a child trafficking ring in, I think it was Quebec, and this is just something that's not new, but something that we are dissolving, something that we are doing away with, because more and more of us are beginning to remember that all of that shit is just energy farming. All of that egregore is losing. It's one of the oldest, okay? It's one of the oldest, because even in the Bible, it says man should not lay with child. It doesn't say man should not lay with man. It says man should not lay with child. Because the energy of children, the light of children is so pure and powerful. It's so raw, it's unformed. It's just I'm not talking about purity like that. I'm talking about purity in the sense of the formity of it, how fluid it is. So when we traumatize children in the ways that we've been traumatized since as far back as we can recall, it's doing a disservice to us all. But, you know, I had seen someone that I don't really go on Instagram or Threads or anything like that, but and Facebook and all that, like, I'm clearing those out. I'm getting rid of those, because just downloading my pictures from there, and then I'm gonna delete them, because the more we keep aligning and feeding those energies, those traps, right? The trolls, the more you keep feeding the trolls, the bigger they get. So where I'm going with this is, like, I had seen someone posting about how there's a lot of other celebrities in the Epstein files. Michelle Obama is one of them, and they someone was commenting saying like, oh, this is all above our heads, you're all just worshiping these celebrities, you know, let God handle it, this and this and that. And someone else was like, if all these things that are happening to children don't bother you, then you're basically on their side. And he's like, no, I'm just saying to let God handle it, like, you know, protect the children that you're around and this and this and that. But it's like, as someone who experienced this form of energy farming, and, you know, my energy was still being farmed up until I finally broke those cords. I finally walked away from those people that would no sooner allow me to off myself than confront the things that they had allowed to happen to me, that they had chosen. I mean, we all ordain these things for ourselves coming into the experience so that we either identify with them or we say, yes, this happened to me and this is what needs to stop. This is what needs to change. This is what needs to be dissolved. So, you know, the whole bygones thing and wiping the slate clean, to me, if any of those people, I mean, even in the relationships, with my former marriage and then my last ex after my marriage, they were farming my energy as well. So, I mean, it's just like, until you take your power back, until you recall who you truly are, there's always going to be opportunists. There's always going to be predators, right? And predator isn't an extremely bad thing. I mean, you see the opportunities to take to thrive, to continue on, but it's like, at what cost? At what expense? And that's discernment. But honestly, if any of those people wanted to wipe the slate clean and try to forge a relationship with me again, I'm just not interested. That's because I know they will never come to me. They expect me to go to them. They expect me to come crawling back. And the fuck, like, I didn't even do shit. I didn't do it. You guys did it. So there's nothing for me to apologize and grovel about. When I had confronted the person who would call herself my mother, and I was telling her, I was like, you know, they're all gonna say I'm lying. They're all not gonna believe me. And she did not say, oh, that's not true. She was silent, because I know that she's the one going around telling others not to believe me, telling others that I'm lying, telling others that I'm crazy, that I made it up. Because all of my cousins, majority of my cousins, I heard, went to the funeral of my abuser, and quite honestly, that dude just like dissolved not too long after I confronted the whole situation. And, you know, his wife is, so I've heard on her way out. But I know that she has some tricks up her sleeve, so it don't matter to me because they can do what they want. It's just gonna come back to them tenfold in the way that they don't. It's literally is not up to me. But none of my cousins have reached out to me, and I had my Facebook open for a long time. A lot of my cousins had friended me on there years ago, but not a one of them messaged me. Not a one of them said, hey Bina, we didn't see you at the funeral, are you okay, this and this and that. And if they want to believe lies that they know are lies, that's up to them. It could just be their own guilt and shame about everything, because I wasn't the only one. Whoever was there, I mean, he would have like mostly all of us sitting spread eagle on his back, giving him massages while she's sitting on the couch watching TV like it's just a Tuesday. So, moaning and groaning as he's telling us to push harder. Okay, so, that each their own time. But once I addressed everything, all those recurring memories and broken dreams that I would have went away. They dissolved. Because I did what I was supposed to do. I did what I said I would come here to do. 2222 on the timer. So, mainly, twin, the message of today is like, you know what is true in your heart. You know where you're supposed to be, where you're heading. While the details may seem shrouded or hidden, you generally know where you're going. You generally know where you're gonna end up. But the how is none of your business, because we live in a friendly universe that always has our backs. But it's like, in this current moment, just enjoy the rest. You're coming up to not a pinnacle, but a huge turning point on the path. And honestly, your schedule is literally gonna be packed to the gills. Your schedule is going to be so tight because it's going to be full of all these amazing experiences and connections that are for you, that have always been on the path, on your path, on our path. So just keep talking with the guides, speaking life over yourself, journaling, enjoying yourself, and having fun, because that is the highest form of spirituality. No matter what deities you may align with, we can all agree that having fun is the greatest thing, is the key to heaven within. I love you so much, okay? I'll see you in the next one. Take care.